Hi guys. I have an issue in my fish tank. You see this guy here? Oh man, he is ate up with something. This side here he has some kind of like ick. And the other side, you see that? It's like a slime or a raggedy looking something. It's getting worse. I have had this tank set up. It was it cycled. It was about 4 weeks. And then now it's about 4 weeks past that. So it's been 8 to 10 weeks on this tank. There's the other chocolate. He's got signs of ick. I've been treating with this medication. Let's see if we can get a better light on that. There we go. This is the medication I've been treating with. I've been keeping plenty of oxygen. I went and bought this little battery-operated oxygen pump or air pump to throw some oxygen in there while I was treating. And I angled my jets to where it's putting plenty of oxygen in the water. How this started out is I bought these two H. Corys, and now they're fighting. And I bought a gold Severum, and I bought an Oscar, and two clown loaches. So I put them in the tank after acclimating them. Unfortunately, I did not quarantine them. I put them all in the tank, and immediately, and I mean immediately, that little H. Cory that you see there that's got all the stuff on them and the gold Severum teamed up and were trying to kill the Oscar within minutes. So he had only been in the tank overnight. I noticed he was like really not happy. So I pulled him out, took him back to the LFS to get my money back. No problem, they said. They took it back. He was swimming kind of weird. He looked like a gimp, kind of, just like his arms were, his pectoral fins weren't moving. So you see how, and that's another trait of what's going on. You see, they were not doing this yesterday or the day before. Now that other one's trying to kill the little one. I'm going to have to separate them. But, so I put them all in there. I had to take the Oscar out, took them back. They gave me back my money. I bought another clown loach. That was two clown loaches. At first, I only had one. The first day I traded them back, I got a clown loach to put in there. So I had two clown loaches, one gold Severum, two H. Cory chocolate cichlids. Everything was fine, except for they wouldn't come out of the caves at all. We're talking 8 days later. I talked to another friend of mine at a pet store. He's like, well, they should have been acclimated by now. Let's try this. He gave me some tiger barb to put in there. Quite a bit, actually. But it worked. It's kind of nice to see all the fish swimming around. Everybody was out doing fine. Then the tiger barbs started dying off one by one. They would start swimming nose down. Then they'd flip over belly up and float up a little bit. And then they'd turn right side up again and swim off. It was almost like if they were just falling asleep. All the while having a perfect appetite. You see how this guy here, he's got a bloated stomach now. I don't know if you can tell, but he's got a bloated stomach. 1 second. Sorry, I had to answer the phone. So anyways, every time that they get the bloated stomach, they start getting cranky and they start picking on other fish. He's already got this other fish chased up into the corner now. Yesterday he was fine and he didn't have a bloated stomach. This is the weirdest thing. So anyways, back to the tiger barbs. They would go nose down. Then they would act like they'd fall asleep. They'd go belly up and they'd float up a little bit. And then you'd start seeing them laying flat on a rock. You'd go there to pick them up with a net because you thought they were dead. And they'd swim off and everything was fine. Then you'd come back the next morning and my top water skimmer would have them inside there dead. All the while, no markings, no signs of ick, no algae, no white velvet, no nothing, no flashing around, no scratching themselves on rocks, nothing. Just dying fish. So I go to, in my area, we only have big box stores. There's no little fish store. So I went up to the pet supermarket Or no, it was Petco, and I bought this stuff. It's supposed to treat for every, or at least 80% of all parasitic diseases, and help to give the fish a stronger immunity so the parasites could not attack them any further. Well, these fish, these two, had no markings on them, no dust, no salt specks, nothing. And that was 7 days ago. About 4 days ago, they started showing signs of this ick. All the while, I'm treating with this medication. I don't know what to do. I don't know if it's ick at this moment. I'm starting to look at a possible fungus, bacteria in the tank, and ick being a secondary infection, so to speak, because the fish are weak. So if anybody knows what this is, please help me out. So anyways, the tiger barbs started dying off one at a time. I scooped all the rest of them out. There was about 8 left. I took them back to the pet store. It spread to my gold severum. He lasted about 2 days, then he died. That was the day after I started treating for medication. Since then, in the last 7 days, the 2 clown loaches died one at a time within a day apart from one another, showing no signs of ick until the last one, the second one, when he died. The night before he died, he was showing signs of big granules of ick on his tail. Now these guys are infected. Please help me try and save these fish. Thank you very much.